When a species goes extinct, it is no longer present anywhere on the planet. It is gone forever. There's no recovering for that species. And even its present may not ever have been known if it's not part of the fossil record or in some herbarium or natural history collection. It is truly gone. So what difference can one species possibly make? Well, let's compare the complex web of life to a car, which is a very complex machine. If I open up the hood of that car and I look under the hood, I might not know what everything does, but I could probably pull a wire or two and things may still work. But eventually, if I pull enough wires or disconnect enough stuff, that car is not going to run. And the same thing can be said about an ecosystem. We might be able to lose a species or two and things will operate, but eventually the system will stop working and break down.
That's a long way of saying it's those dependencies of species on each other and on the physical habitats that makes us care about both species and ecosystems. And so classifying and studying ecosystems is just part of the way for us to get a handle on the complexity of our natural world. There's a great paragraph in the later edition of Charles Darwin's On the Origin of Species that captures this wonderfully. He wrote, "It's interesting to contemplate a tangled bank, clothed with many plants of many kinds, with birds singing in the bushes, with various insects flitting about, and with worms crawling through the damp earth, and to reflect that these elaborately constructed forms, so different from each other and dependent upon each other in so complex a manner, it's these forms that have all been produced by laws around us."
Each species is its own little functional role in the ecosystem. Some species have big roles, some species have small roles. An example of this would be what's called a keystone species, like on a keystone on a bridge. You take that stone out, literally the bridge collapses. And that happens with keystone species. The entire ecosystem could collapse, causing the extinction of many, many other species.
So there are many ecosystems that are at risk. Our recent study, the Biodiversity in Focus report, showed that of the more than 400 regional ecosystems in the U.S., 41% are at risk. Those include many grasslands, savannas, and open woodlands that are at risk because they have productive agricultural soils, are heavily grazed, they lack the needed fires to keep them in good condition, or they're affected by exotics. More surprising is that many eastern U.S. forests are also at risk because they've been highly fragmented by roads, cities, farm fields, and forestry activities. So our overall goal as a conservation organization is that biodiversity thrives. So for biodiversity to thrive, we need to care about both species and ecosystems.